Hey guys, Archer with a Sword here. I haven't really talked to you guys in a while. It seems like it's been so long ago. Um, but in the last video, whenever I was talking about female characters, I was going to go in depth about Chihiro and Spirited Away. And today I get to tell you about Spirited Away. Yay! This is one of my favorite movies ever. Not just a Studio Ghibli movie, but just ever. So Miyazaki writes and creates his movies for like a specific genre. Like My Neighbor Totoro was for, little kids, little bitties. Kiki for like really young kids, like or maybe 13-year-olds. Spirited Away is one of those movies that was created for like tweens on up to teenagers, I believe. And a lot of people, no matter what your age, can enjoy. But definitely if you were a little kid, this might have been a little too weird, I guess. Kind of like Alice in Wonderland. This is very much like the Japanese-esque version of Alice in Wonderland. Except, things make a little bit more sense and it's more culturally rooted in Spirited Away, and Alice in Wonderland is just a drug trip. It's just nothingness. But whenever you're a kid, it's a little too surreal, I guess. Like whenever I was, at that age, I would watch Kiki's Delivery Service on the Disney Channel, and then they would play Spirited Away, and my mom's like, that looks weird. And it was weird, but when you get older, it makes a little bit more sense, and you're not as creeped out. Well, you are, but in like the best of ways, creeped out by the characters and the visuals. I think let's first talk about the characters a little bit. I talked about Chihiro, and she's one of those characters that you're supposed to, find a little whiny and a little bit bratty and a little immature, but by the end of the story you love, and you've seen like this maturity and this newfound experience in her, and you do. It's awesome. It's very well portrayed. Chihiro is very much the embodiment of like a 13-year-old. She's just a shy kind of like I don't know about this kind of little girl who becomes emboldened as much as, a 13-year-old can be. Like, knowing that there's still a lot to learn in her, but taking what she's learned and applying it with humility. She's an excellent female character. And she's voiced by the same girl who did the voice for Lilo in Lilo and Stitch. That's her. I don't remember any of these voice actors' names, and it's making me very sad inside, but just look up the movie. You'll get a list of the actors, and you can piece together who does who. There's a really cool character. Her name is Lynn, and she's voiced by the same woman who plays Megara in Hercules. And you can hear that Megara in her. She's just a sassy, strong character. It's her. It's Meg, but in that movie. And she's super, super cool. The villain is very well done in this. Yubaba is just drawn so creepy. Like, imagine this old hag with a huge head and very pronounced big features. Like these bulbous eyes, these big like crow-like nose, and these big wicked lips, and this wicked voice to go along with it. She's just an excellent villain. And there are times in the movie where, she's not so bad. It's like, oh yeah, she's just a bathhouse owner. It's fine. And then, you see her be intimidating and very conniving and cunning to Haku and Chihiro. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry. She's a really good villain. She's really good. And she is kind of she's that perfect visual when you see the quote, or you see someone or hear someone say that not all villains have to be 100% evil, and or Tom Hiddleston's quote of every villain believes that they are the hero. That's very true, because Yubaba is a businesswoman, she is a mother, and you can tell in the movie that she loves her baby to death, like to the point that she coddles him and she hovers him, and that she, keeps him inside, where he can't get hurt or get, diseases. Like, she just overprotects him. And it's coming from a place of love, but it just gets kind of mangled. Like, her idea of being the perfect mother gets a little twisted. And her idea of being this perfect businesswoman and, just raking in all the money that she can, but to the expense of neglecting her employees and, using them and manipulating them. She's a good character. She's a good character that you can actually, I believe, think about and say, is she 100% evil, or is there a bit of good in her? Because she's also, I think, dignified in the sense that she keeps her word. She's cunning and she's crafty and she has a way of kind of, finding loopholes and everything. But when she knows that she's beaten at something, she keeps her word. Like, begrudgingly, but like she keeps her word. Haku. Haku is voiced by the same guy who has done the voice for Kovu in Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and Max from the Goofy movies, a Goofy movie and an extremely Goofy movie, and he was Jason Dean in Heathers. Yay! And like so many other things, but like off the top of my head, that's all I can remember. But he did an amazing job playing Haku, who is this dragon boy. He's so cool, he's so sweet. He's this boy who has lost, who he is. He doesn't remember who he is. And all he really knows what to do right now is to follow Yubaba's orders. Even though, she might want him to do something that is, that he doesn't want to do, but he knows he has to do. He knows that. He knows that he's doing something that he doesn't want to do, but he'll find a way no matter what. And it especially happens whenever Chihiro arrives, where he goes, I'm not going to completely follow her orders. I'm not going to completely do what she wants me to do right now because I care about someone. And it's, it's not just about me following orders right now. It's about caring for someone else. He's a great character. He's a very noble character. Oh my gosh, there are just so many good characters. I'm naming like the main characters, but there's so many even minor characters that are just amazing, like Kamaji, the Boiler Man, No Face, like the glutton. I think you can kind of, after watching the movie, make your own little in-depth study of No Face and who or what he represents. But there is a lot of representation in this movie, just by show don't tell, basically. It's very pretty, visually. There's a lot of like bright, warm colors in the bathhouse, and then a lot of cool colors outside of the bathhouse, like in the swamp, in the water. Whenever you're taking the train ride and you're just looking at the water. In the sky is very blue during the daytime, and then very dark blue, but with so much like light blue as it gets closer to the moonlight. It's just this very beautiful, very detailed movie. Like, it's very visually appealing. And musically, it's very appealing. I like a lot of the Studio Ghibli music, but I think my favorite movie music from Studio Ghibli has been Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. I get the theme for Howl's Moving Castle and the closing theme from Spirited Away in my head so often. It's so good. It's very good to listen to whenever you're trying to sleep or you're trying to do busy work, like, you know, you're focused on something. Just listening to the piano and the string music, it's very soothing. This is a great movie, you guys, and if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. And if you have, tell me why you like it, because I think this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it took me a little while to get used to just the surreal characters and how weird everything is. But once I did, I just fell head over heels in love with it. There's so much to glean from this movie. There's so much to gain. Just little nuggets of wisdom. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can enjoy this movie in some, you know, shape or form. I think that about wraps it up. I'm very happy to be talking to you guys again. And I'll see you next time.